Honors Algebra, Mr. Lawrence here with your flipped lesson for the weekend of February 17th through 20th. It is a long weekend. I hope you enjoy it, but you do need to partake in a little flipped classroom here. And this is something really cool. Last week we learned about the little f word, right? FOIL, the little f word. Get your minds out of the gutters. Because today we're going to learn about the big F word. Factoring! Yes, the big F word is factoring. And this is really cool stuff. The first type of factoring we're going to learn is the first type of factoring you should always try. Did I mention this is the first type of factoring you should always try? Jewel, did you hear that? We're going to always try to do the GCF first. Now, GCF is really simple. By the way, I like to call it undistributing. Before I teach you how to do it, I'm going to review how to distribute. Let's say we have 3x times the quantity of 5x minus 7. Well, I know that all of you know you must pass out candy to everybody in the row. In other words, you must multiply everything in the quantity by what's in front of the quantity. So 3x times 5x would give me a 15x squared, and 3x times a negative 7 would give me a negative 21x. That's distributing, right? Factoring by the GCF is kind of like undistributing. Let's say I have 24x squared minus 16x. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the GCF of 24x squared and 16x. So the GCF of 24 and 16 should be easy. The GCF is going to be 8, and I'm going to write it off to the side here. GCF, it's going to be 8 of the 24 and 16. What's the greatest common factor of x squared and x? Well, x squared means x times x, right? And x is just x. The greatest common factor would be x. I'm going to undistribute out that 8x. So I'm going to pull an 8x out. Well, let me ask you this. If distributing uses multiplication, undistributing must use, what's that, Haley? Yes, you're right. It's division. It must use division. So if I divide out an 8x from here, 24 divided by 8 is 3. X squared divided by x is x. Oh, that's pretty cool. Now, I have to divide out an 8x from the 16x as well. Well, 16 divided by 8, that's 2. X divided by x cancel out. I just undistributed, or I factored by using the greatest common factor. Yeah, pretty sweet how that works. If you know your multiplication facts, this stuff is cake. Now you see why I was harping on you guys in the beginning of the year to learn this stuff. All right. Let's try another one. Let's say we have 25x to the 4th y plus 10x squared y squared minus, let's go with 40x cubed y squared. I'm going to factor by using the GCF. All right, well, let me first find the GCF of my coefficients. The GCF. The GCF. Well, the GCF of 25, 10, and 40, I hope you can see is 5. All right, now let's do the greatest common factor of the x's. I've got an x to the 4th. I've got an x squared and an x cubed. The greatest power of x that is common to all three of them would be the x squared. So that's part of my GCF. All right. Now my y's. I have a y to the 1st. I have a y squared. And I have a y squared. The greatest power of y is y squared, but y squared isn't in my first term. It's not a part of that. The greatest power that's common to all three is 1. Because remember, y squared means y times y. So they all have at least a y to the 1st power in them. That is a part of my GCF. So I'm going to put that GCF out front. And remember, distributing would imply multiplication. Undistributing, or factoring by the GCF, will imply division. So I'm going to pull out a 5x squared y. Uh-oh, danger, Will Robinson. I think we're okay. The smartboard reset itself. All right, so I am going to divide 25 by 5 and get 5. X to the 4th divided by x squared, x squared. Y divided by y, cancel out. The second term, I'm going to divide 10 by 5 to get 2. x squared divided by x squared, they cancel. Y squared divided by y is y, right? Okay, and then the third term, 40 divided by 5 is 8. X cubed divided by x squared, x. Y squared divided by y, y. And there you go. This should be pretty cool and pretty simple. Let me try to trick you now, show you a very common mistake. Let's suppose we have 8x squared minus 4x, and you're told to factor using the GCF. Well, again, we're going to find our GCF over here. We're going to identify it. GCF, and it looks like 4 is going to be the GCF of the coefficients. And the GCF of the x's will be x. So I'm going to divide out of 4x. Be careful. 8 divided by 4 is 2. X squared divided by x is x. Now, some of you are going to go, hey, if I divide 4x by a 4x, they're going to cancel. I agree, but they don't cancel to make 0. They cancel to make 1. I'm going to get a minus 1. Yeah, stop and think about that for a minute. Yeah, if I divide 4x by 4x, it's not nothing. Those cancel to make 1, in this case, negative 1. Think about it. 5 divided by 5. Those cancel to make 1, not 0. Now, one cool thing I didn't mention is you can check your work real easy on this one. Real easy. Redistribute. 4 times 2 is 8. X times x is x squared. 8x squared. 4x times negative 1, negative 4x. Notice I got the original problem. If I check my answer by redistributing, I should get the original problem. Here, you try this one. Let's go with 3x cubed minus 9x squared plus 12x. Okay, go ahead and pause the video, see if you can factor this by using the GCF or the greatest common factor. All right, let's see here. If you're watching now, I assume you want to see the answer. My GCF of the 3 terms, the coefficients would be 3. Of the variables would be x. So I'm going to divide out of 3x. 3x cubed divided by 3x would be x squared. 9x squared divided by 3x, 3x. 12x divided by 3x would be plain old 4. I can check my answer by redistributing. Let me multiply here, here, and here. If I get the original problem, I did it correct. 3 times x squared, excuse me, 3x times x squared, 3x cubed. 3x times 3x would be 9x squared. 3x times 4, 12x. Bingo! I got it. I'm good. All right, guys, that's your lesson for the weekend. We'll be getting practice with that Tuesday in class. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good weekend, everybody.